Hey, fairy grasshoppers, it's Bridget. So I was just thinking about this. I was journaling, just getting ready to journal, and I grabbed my stone, this gorgeous crystal. I showed her on my Instagram, and this is a black tourmaline, but it's really unique because I think it's really unique because it has this gorgeous, what some would see is an imperfection, and I see it as this just beautiful river of light. This reminds me of the Rumi quote where it says, "The wound is where the light enters." You know, I love this stone. I've had it for about 2 weeks and I am just in love with it. It is very divine feminine, and black tourmaline helps with protection, and it just, for me, it kind of soothes the energy, it calms the energy. I have it next to my bed when I'm sleeping at night. I bring it into session with me when I'm doing group work and I want to kind of balance the multiple energies and the grids that are in session when I'm doing a group session. So I just love her. Isn't she great? Look at that. I got it off of Etsy. In fact, I loved her so much that I ordered another one. It didn't come with a inclusion though. It doesn't have this gorgeous energy piece here. This is almost like a zipper or a river of light, isn't it? It's like all of us, right? It just really reminds me of like working with our shadows, embracing our light, embracing all parts of us. By the way, working with shadow doesn't mean just focusing on the negative, and it doesn't mean trying to fix yourself. I want to be really clear on that. I think there's a lot of information out there psychically and also with personal development about shadow and light. And it's not that one is bad, one is good. It's just that they're all parts of who we are, okay? And so the shadow sounds really negative or creepy or spooky. It's not. It's completely natural. It's not something that is like all about like depression and heavy energy and trauma. I mean, it can be. There can be pieces of those things in the shadow, but it also is simply, I'm just looking at all the little bumps on here and just feeling this. It also is an homage to the whole of who we are. You know, we are not supposed to be perfect, even though intellectually or in the mind, psychologically, there is this false assumption that there is this idea of perfection, and yet it's something that can never be attained or achieved because it doesn't exist. And if you are seeking perfection, what it really is about is a balancing of energy between your light and your dark. So your shadow and your light. It's interesting, isn't it? But we try really hard only to show this part to people and not the rest of it. Interesting. This also feels like, as I'm holding this, it also feels like boundary to me. Feels like it reminds me of setting boundaries, and she's been, perhaps below the surface, this particular crystal has been helping me with that, because as someone who, like you, is an empath and very clairsentient, feels with the heart space. I work with my heart space. It's hard to say no sometimes to people. It's hard not to take things personally. It's difficult to watch other people on their struggles without recognizing, hey, struggle's natural. It doesn't mean something's bad. And instead of me being uncomfortable with other people struggling, you know, especially I have children, you know, I have 4 kids. And so we've got to let them struggle a bit so they can figure life out for themselves. And I too have to struggle, and that's awful. I don't like it, but I know that it's a part of life, and I'm working with this energy. Let's just say it that way, right? And I've been working with the shadow of that. Oh, that need for comfort. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Yeah. But setting boundaries is important. So that's a piece, one of the lessons that's coming through too. So much here. See, look at all the wisdom with the crystal, a simple crystal. So I wanted to share this with you again. This is black tourmaline. There are other stones that you can use for protection and such, of course. And when I say protection, I mean like almost like a shielding or a balancing of the energy in that heart space, or if you're super psychic, super sensitive in that, and also regards to your emotions. This could really help emotionally. This is what it feels like to me. It really helps my heart chakra very much. Black tourmaline. I know that black obsidian can also do that. I have a tall obelisk that's black obsidian, but that particular stone is like a temple holder for me. That one's kind of a not a radar, I was going to say a radar, like a radiant energetic point for me when I do some group work that I do, a divine feminine group work. That one's specifically connected with one of the goddesses' energies. So this is definitely very special, this one here, this river of light. I love this one. All right, so I wanted to share that with you again. So you could use black obsidian also. I also like jet. It's really soft. I wonder, I have a little piece of jet here by my bedside. Little piece of jet. This is really light, super duper lightweight. Great to have in the pocket. I carry this around often. I have multiple ones of these. There's a grid across from us here, a grid cloth that I have, and I have these on them, as well as some amethyst and some clear quartz crystals. So these are awesome, yeah. Rocks and crystals aren't just a hobby thing. They really are, they hold energy. They really do. They really, really do. They can be like your own little apothecary, you know, they can be medicine, they can be inspiration, they can be like friends, like spiritual energetic friends. They can hold, they can be portals, they can be keys, they can be just essence of a spirit guide. There can be so many different things. So if you like crystals, there's a good chance that you're very intuitive and in tune, whether you recognize it or not. A lot of empaths that I know, those who are clairsentient, very sensitive and get energy emotionally in their heart space, very much connect with crystals and stones. So. All right, so this is Bridget. There's your little rock lesson, your rockin' lesson for the day today. What kinds of crystals and stones do you guys like? You can go ahead and put that in the comments below. I know at least for me, the black stones seemed creepy or scary. Like at first I was like, for a long time, up until maybe even like 5 years ago, I was so not into black stones. It seemed scary and creepy to me. But then I started to open up and realize that is probably perhaps because there's parts of me that I maybe don't like very much or I'm afraid of that could overwhelm me, maybe emotionally, or make me feel sad, or make me feel depressed, or that kind of a thing. And this energy of the black stone made me feel like maybe it was too heavy or too deep emotionally, but now I completely understand. It's like when you're outside in the summertime, which I can really dream about right now because it's really cold. It's like wintertime here in Minnesota. And you have like a black shirt on and it just absorbs the sun and it gets really hot. That's like what the black stones do. They absorb that energy. They absorb the light, right? They just absorb it. And so to me, that's a pretty sacred role to have. And when I found this black tourmaline, I was like, oh, and when I purchased it, it was just, you just order the stone itself, and it doesn't come with, like, I don't get to pick the exact stone I want. I just ordered it off of Etsy. And so it came like this. So this is definitely for me. Happy to share it with you again, black tourmaline. So I'll look below and see what you guys put for your favorite rocks or crystals. If you have a crystal BFF, go ahead and put it in the comments below. What type of rock is it? Like a rose quartz, an amethyst, adventurine, maybe it's a tiger's eye, maybe it's red jasper or Dalmatian jasper. Those are some of the ones that I have on hand. I really love moonstone. I really like, right now I'm really digging green apotholite. I have a stone that's a green apotholite that I love. I absolutely love. I also have a huge stone that's called the Golden Healer, a really big crystal point one. Himalayan kind of energy vibe with that, and it's got some smoky quartz in it as well. So yeah, so I'm interested to see what you have below. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a good day.